relax so you can enjoy the best part. Well, if you can relax, enjoy the best part of the service. Please help me welcome our pastor as she comes. Give her a hearty amen.
God is so good. It's good to be here this morning to worship him in spirit and in truth. He didn't owe us anything. He gave us everything. And I'm glad about it this morning. If you came to church expecting something to make you feel better, has he got a seat? Okay. He wants to sit in there, so you'll have to let him. God bless you, honey. Yeah. Whoa. I want to preach this morning. You know what I'm hearing a lot of, and I don't know if you've heard it or not, but I'm hearing a lot of garbage. Let me get to where I'm going here. I don't know if you've heard this. It's in Hollywood. It's all over the place. Are you living in your own truth? Have you found your own truth? I heard that. I said, are you kidding me? Since when did it become your truth? Man been lying to himself ever since he been here. Man don't tell himself the truth about himself. He's proud for one thing. He's not just going to tell himself, you are no good this or you're no good that. Oh, no, because I'm not as bad as my next door neighbor. You know what? I'm okay with this one or with that one. And if you really look at me, you'll see the good, really. I remember when they asked Trump, everybody says you're so arrogant. He said, let me tell you something. He said, you will never meet a more humble person. A more humble person than me. That's amazing. I really thank God because, truth lets you see you, but it ain't got nothing to do what you call your truth. There's only one truth. And Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. So you don't have a truth. He gives you truth, tells you where you at, where you're wrong at, what you need to do. You're not doing that. That's why you're living in sin today. That's why you're not right now. That's why I got a lot of people that's enemies to me all over this city because I told them their truth wasn't no good. It's not any good. Listen to this. I want to give you a little definition of what that meant. I looked it up this week of what it's supposed to mean because I'm thinking this is over the top here. Listen, it says, what is your truth? It says, it means to live your most truthful self. Inside you is a person waiting to jump out and live in truth and openness. Most of us spend our days living up to expectations and definitions. In this way, you, me, and all of us are living to be someone different than who we really are. It is time to live your truth and own it. I'm going to show you what a lie this is. It says, one of the things that you got to do, accept who you are at this moment. If I accept who I am, I'll never change. I can't just accept, say, okay, I'm okay. No, if I want to be right with God, accepting who you are won't get you anywhere. This is what they says. The key to change is accepting who you are and by accepting what struggles you deal with. Without acceptance, you will constantly feel unworthy of progress. It is normal to struggle. I don't think we have to struggle. Walking with the Lord is not a struggle. That's because you live it in your truth. To be disappointed in choices you make. But it's okay. Accept who you are, and I mean fully accept it without judgment or blame, and feel the floodgates of progress open up before you. You are perfect right here, right now. Remember it and believe it. Boy, that's a horrendous lie. You are perfect right now. No, you're not. If we had been perfect, he wouldn't have had to come. Oh, no, we're not perfect. Then it goes on to say, acknowledge who you are. Who are you? Look in the mirror for a minute. Don't lie. Look in the mirror and say, are you pretty or ugly? What is that? Don't lie. He says, who are you? What do you stand for? Nothing. It's wonderful, isn't it, being you? The true you. The one hiding behind past definitions is ready to emerge. Let yourself break free from the cocoon and fly. You're in a cocoon, fly out of there. Oh, this is so stupid. I'm going to get a joy out of talking about this. Define your truth. Here it is. This may take a bit of work. Figuring out your truth in reality. You already know it, but for whatever reason, fear of judgment, previous definitions, or denial, you have buried your truth deep within the abyss. If you stop and listen and feel your inner self, you will become aware of the truths that lay within you. Take the time to think on it, feel it, meditate, or journal your thoughts and your feelings. You may not even have to do this because you're already aware of your truth. Define your truth and roll with it. The next one is live loudly and proudly. Those words right there finishes the whole thing. Now that you know your truths, live it loudly and proudly. Let no one deny you your truth. Be honest and full in your truth. Don't hide behind judgment, self, or society inflicted on anything else. Your personal truth is just that, truth. Haven't we been told to always tell the truth? And you're not doing it right now. So do it loudly and proudly. Now you are ready. Your truth has been unearthed. Now go and live your truth, and I will be right beside you. This is a lady who wrote this, Rebecca McNown wrote this, and I thought, right. Do you know what? You got to be, when you come to God, you got to acknowledge for sure who you are. Acknowledge that you're a sinner. I know I'm a sinner. I wasn't born doing everything right. Why? Because we were born in sin. So I got to acknowledge that I'm a sinner. Whether you like that or not, you're no different from all the rest of us. You were born in iniquity, shaped in iniquity, born in sin. You can't get around that. Think about it. So tell him, say, God, you know I've messed up. The average person in this building this morning, if they speak the truth, would say, you know who you are. You know you're not what you try to project that you are. You know that. You know better than that. So I'm going to try to make it look like, I'm this nice person. That's why we get surprised sometimes and say, oh, my God, I never thought she would do that. I never thought he would do that. He didn't seem like that kind of person because he's projecting a lie. See? Acknowledge who you are. That's the best way for God to move for you. That's the best way that God's going to change you. Acknowledge that I'm a sinner. I'm not right. I've done wrong things. I've done bad things. Acknowledge that, okay? Then it says, so you define it now. Well, the way I look at it, I'm really not a bad person. In fact, I think I'm a pretty nice person. And I don't hurt anybody. I mind my own business. I have a job. I work hard, take care of my family. All those things have nothing to do with who you are. They have nothing to do with it. Because you know what? In actuality, you may not like this, but I'm used to people not liking what I say, so that's okay. Is that when a man goes to work and work hard to provide for his family, that's not just about you. That's about the feeling that makes him feel good. I feel like I'm a decent man. I work hard, I take care of my kids, and I take care of my wife and all that. But he's feeling a sense of macho-ness. This is me, baby. I'm here. I believe in taking care of my family. That's about you wanting to feel good. Well, Sister Rose, I disagree. Well, that's okay. And so I'm going to say this. This is my truth. This is what I believe I am. This is what I believe I'm supposed to do. This is what I believe that God wants me to do. It's amazing people read the scripture and then turn around and say, well, I don't think he meant that. Yes, he did. God says everything he means, what he says he means it, whether you want to like it or not. It's not going to be adjusted. It's not going to be changed. This is who you are. Get mad about that. Who does she think she is? I just belong to God. I don't know who you belong to. Then the fact that you have dug all this stuff up and told yourself how good you were, now it says, you don't unearth it now. Be loud and proud about it. Talk about it. Tell people who you are. I just want to give you a little definition of who I am. Spare me. You know what happened? When the Lord made me a preacher, well, I was a tough girl in the world anyway. I mean, I just didn't just give in to what you thought or whatever. But since I got saved and became a minister, the thing that you got to do is going to be offensive. Because people say, I felt really bad when she said that. I didn't even call their name. I'm trying to understand who told her about me. Nobody. A man came to church with one of our members one time, and I was preaching, and it was tearing him up. I didn't know this man. I didn't know where he was. And he leaned over to the person that brought him to church and said, did you tell her what I told you? He said, no, I never talked to her. I haven't talked to her this morning. Well, some kind of way she found out. No, God already knew. I didn't find out. God already knew. So live loudly and proud. Pride is a thing that God hates more than anything I can tell you. He said, I resist the proud. I give grace to the humble. So how are you going to be proud, but now you're in your truth? It's not happening. Every time somebody speaks truth, somebody gets upset. Every time you say that's not right, you need to do this or you need to do that, somebody don't like it. And preachers all over this country are telling you what you like, what they think they want you to feel like and acceptable. Because if I can keep you putting that money in that plate, hey, I'll tell you anything you want to hear. Well, in this church, no matter what you put in that plate, it remains the same. Truth is still there. It's still there. Sometimes the Lord has shown me things or dealing with me about people, and I know at some point in time I got to talk to them. And I'm thinking, don't get mad. Get glad. Here comes the truth. That's what's going to set you free. That's what's going to make you happy. That's what's going to fill your life with freedom. That's truth is freedom. Because then, if I really know the truth about myself and go to God, God will change the things that's wrong in me. Yes? Do a work in your life. It wouldn't do me any good to walk around before I got saved and telling people, honey, I'm a nice person. And I know I will cut your head off if you cross me. Quit playing games. And it don't take you long. By the time you say I'm a nice person, it's a matter of time before the ugly of you come out to the surface. Look at it. I am so glad that I didn't come to God trying to tell him how nice I was. He already knew I wasn't no good. I knew I wasn't no good. I knew I was full of crap. I knew I was mean as a yard dog. I know that. I know that. But it makes me mad if you tell me I'm mean. Don't tell me that. Yes, I am. I'm going to tell you. Because you're not going to get better if I come to this pulpit and say, oh, you beautiful people. You're just lovely and sweet, and God is just with you. He ain't with liars and cheats. He's not with people who sinning every day. He's not with you. They say, well, don't worry about, we all sin. No, we all have sinned. I'm not still sinning. As Jesus might well not have come, he said, I came to take away that sin. I came to give you power over it. The things I used to do, I don't do them no more. So don't come telling me that stuff about, well, everybody's sinned. Everybody have sinned. And there are some people that's still sinning. I happen not to be one of them. I live right every day. You know why? Because he said, I can help you to do it. He said, Rose, if you'll let me empower you, he said, I'm the one that will keep you from falling. I'm the one that will lift you up. I'm the one to keep you from cursing and lying and beating up people and being mean and running around doing things you should. He kept me from all that stuff. I know that he can do it. You can't do it. Think about it. You can't do it. So when you look at your life this morning, and say, you know what, I've been lying to myself. I'm coming down on your street. See, the Lord said to me, my people are living a lie. They're living in their so-called truth. They're living a lie. You can't go to heaven until you deal with what's right here. And you know what? I don't really tell people truth hard. I just say, that's not right. You shouldn't be doing that. And then if you raise up at me like a bull, then I raise up and say, it ain't right. You know what the word says? Cry loud, Rose, and spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Show my people their transgressions and the house of Israel their sin. I expect you to show them the difference between right and wrong, the difference between holy and unholy. Yes. I expect you to speak up. You can't just sit back and say, well, I don't want to say anything because they'll get upset or they'll think I think this. I don't care what they think. The word of God defines all of us. It tells us who we are. It tells us if you got these things in your life, you cannot be saved. You're on your way to hell whether you like it or not. When preachers are telling you, just put it in the plate, you're okay. Not here. No amount of money can pay your way into the kingdom. No amount of money can do that. I tell my kids the truth. I tell church people the truth. I remember one time I was on vacation and I called my daughter and we were talking on the phone. I was telling some things the Lord had showed me about some people here at the church. And she said, Mama, that's the truth. I agree with you. That is the truth. I said, well, you know better. Right in the middle of it. She said, Yeah, it hits them when they're not expecting it. It comes when you think you got it. Let's deal with it. We got to deal with it no matter what. Quit sitting around talking. That's why so many people are messed up. That's why so many people are in bondage today. That's why so many people are never going to get out. Because they're not going to tell you what's really going on. Let's speak the truth in our heart. Listen to what David said. Let me skip over here for a minute. He said, Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? Who's going to dwell in your place? Who's going to dwell in? Listen, he that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart. See, we say a lot of things, but it ain't really truth, and it ain't coming from the heart. And if it ain't coming from the heart, it's not truth. See, if I mean this deep from within me, then that's truth. But if it ain't deep in my heart and I can deal with this is bad, you got to deal with it. But when you deal with it, your life begins to change. If you fight it, you remain the same person. You got to deal with it. This is an ugly picture of man. This is an ugly picture of who you are. But deal with that and say, I'm going to change it. Everything you do will show who you are. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you live your life will show who you are. You're either good or bad. You either saved or unsaved. You either a sinner or a Christian. You're one or the other, but honey, you're going to have to deal with what's there. Because God don't change liars that won't acknowledge it. You got to acknowledge who you are. This is me. Yeah, it's an ugly picture. Yeah, it doesn't make me feel good. And who does Sister Rose think she is? Sister Rose. Listen, David said, withhold not thou thy tender mercies from me, O Lord. Let thy loving kindness and thy truth continually preserve me. For innumerable evils have compassed me about. Mine iniquities have taken hold upon me, so that I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of mine head. Therefore my heart faileth me. Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me, O Lord. Make haste to help me. Now he's telling the Lord how bad he is. He said, but would you please help me? I can't do this by myself. I need help. Give me the strength to do it. I mean, so many times I didn't want to use profanity and curse people out. I knew that wasn't nice, but I did it anyway. And one day, I listened to my own self cursing. Wow. You know you just ain't no good. You know what I did? I went to the Lord. I said, Lord, I'm so tired of me. I'm tired of me. I'm tired of being this evil person that everybody knows. I'm tired of cursing people out. I'm tired of fighting. Could you please have mercy on me because I'm messed up? Could you change my life? I cried out to God. I had to acknowledge who I was and how bad it was, how much I wanted to be free from it, and then he set me free. I didn't have to worry about cursing no more. I didn't want to fight no more. I didn't want to hurt people no more. I wanted to be a different person. I was tired of who I was. You got to get tired of you before you get a change. You got to say, I don't like me. I got to change my life. I'm not a good person. Acknowledge that and have the power of God to come into your life and change you into this person that the world can look at and say, well, what made you the way you were? If you listen to my past and listen to my present, you can't connect them. You know why? Because he said, you got to be born again. You got to come to me and ask me to forgive you. And then you got to accept it. You got to accept this and really want to be with tears. Forgive me, God. Forgive me for my wrong. Forgive me for the times I wronged other people. Forgive me for the time I was unfaithful to my wife or my husband. Forgive me, God. And mean it in your heart. And say, you know what? He's going to forgive you. That's what I love about him. If you'll acknowledge it, he'll change it. If you'll acknowledge it, you won't stay the same. That happened to me 52 years ago. And I have never been the same since. And my life is enriched. My life is full. I don't have to worry about hoping I don't beat the crap out of somebody today. I don't have to worry about cursing and swearing and mean and terrible. When I look back on the old Rose, it's hard sometimes to relate to her that you were really that. But in my heart, I know I was because I lived that life. You sitting here this morning, you know for sure. If you're not good, you know it. If you know that I think evil of people all the time, I'm jealous of people, I resent people, I don't want to obey the law, I don't want to do anything, acknowledge it. Change it. Ask God to help me. If you can't do it, he will. David said, I have innumerable evils I've done, many evils. Could you please help me? Deliver me from this garbage, because that's a bondage you're in that no matter what you say, you can't get out of it. You cannot get out of it. I know what I'm talking about. See? David said, I want you to create within me a clean heart, oh God, and a right spirit, so that I can do it right. If your heart ain't right, you can't do it right. If God doesn't change your heart, you will remain the same. Anything that you do externally is for the moment. It's for the moment. But what happens to make man really change is what God does to you in your heart. Because the heart controls us. Evil thoughts proceed from the heart. Bad things, adulteries, fornication, all these things come from the heart. So God has to change that. Clean the heart. I'll give you a new heart. Create within me a right spirit that I want to do what's right. Because sometimes people say, I just don't want to do that. But it's right. I don't want to do it. I don't care if it is right. You're hurting yourself. And then you wonder why you can't make friends. Nobody want to be around a sourpuss like you. And all you do is want to gossip about somebody and gossip about somebody and run this one down, run that one down. Get away from them kind of people. They have no reason to even be here. Their greatest joy is talking about people, business that ain't none of your business. And you do it anyway. Well, I wonder what this, I wonder about that. Would you get out of my face? And they say, child, she didn't even want to say it. It ain't your business. Why do I have to tell all my business to you? I tell our church people, don't stand up in your testimony and tell folks your business. Do you know how many people want to believe that you're messing up? You know how many people say, yeah, I thought that. I ain't going to give it to you. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Ask him to forgive it and believe that he's going to do it and get away from all that other stuff. Listen. David said, behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, in the hidden part. Shall make me know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop. I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all my iniquities. David said, you don't want lip stuff? Well, yeah, I'm going to do better. I know I should do better. God said, I want to hear you really want to do better and come from the heart. I guarantee you what comes from the heart is going to make a difference in who you are today. God will change your life, make you a whole person. I don't care how long you've been sinning. I don't care how long you've been there. He says, I want to change you. Give him a chance. This morning when I make the altar call, if you want prayer to come forward because I want a change in my life. Not just to come up to say, hi, Sister Rose. That ain't what you up here for. You up here because I need to change. The Bible says if our heart don't condemn us, then we have fellowship with God. But you know in your heart that this ain't right. I know I shouldn't have did it. It's horrible. But you can change that. You can be this sweet, loving, nice person. You can be this Christian that others will look at your life and say, I'd like to be like you. Who wants to be like a hellion? I never had nobody say, oh, Rose Liddell, that was my maiden name. Rose Liddell, oh, she's such a sweet person. They say that girl is so, you just can't stand her. She's not friends with anybody because I trust nobody. And look, it just seemed like you want to do something. It just seemed like you want to say something to me. You ain't even thinking about it. Stupid. But when you give your life to him and you settle down, I can't get rid of people being around me now. As a pastor, oh my God, they're just going to sit around. And Sister Rose, Sister Rose, Sister Rose. And they just love it, come over to the house, sit down. I used to have all the members over at Christmas time to my house. I stopped there. We didn't have that many members at the time, and I thought, and they would come over for 3 days for Christmas. And we'd all sit around and eat cookies and drink eggnog and talk to each other. And nobody wants to leave. I have to say, honey, y'all going to have to leave. Time out. Time out. Because people like to be around love. They love to be around somebody that's sweet, that's nice, and still laugh and have a lot of fun with you. See, Sister Rose, I'd like to be like you, but you don't understand. You can be like me, but there's a lot involved in it. See, I gave up everything. I said, God, I don't want nothing but what you want me to have. That's all that counts. Just let me have that. I don't need nothing else. He did it for me. It lasts. See, what you try to do yourself is temporary. But when he gives it to you 52 years later, you still there. 52 years later, you still love people. 52 years later, you still haven't cursed nobody out. You ain't got in no fight. You are not evil. You're not mean. It don't start and stop with God. Some of this crap they teach you in churches today, where the Lord understands you messed up, you accidentally cursed today. You don't accidentally curse when you get saved. No. To the Lord, no, I was just upset. Really? You know how many times I've been upset in 52 years? And not one curse word. Not one. comes out. For my husband got saved, if he got up to go to the bathroom at night and accidentally hit his toe on the bed, here come a curse word, pump it. I mean, you hit your toe on the bed, you cursing, is that going to help it? No. But you know what? If I hit my toe in the middle of the night, whoo, Jesus! My God! Help me, Lord! I ain't getting ready to curse that bed out. That bed is sitting still. You walked into it. I tell my kids all the time, they do this all the time in the house, walking into stuff, and then they holler, whoa! I said, what happened? Hit my toe. I said, it's called look down and then go forward. Look down first. And every time I hear them holler, I said, look down. Because you didn't look down. That's why you walked into that. Ain't nothing out there is a problem to you. You are your problem. Deal with it. Exactly. I got to change that. I went home last night talking about Arlene. I don't think there's a person on the planet who wouldn't like you. That's how crazy you are. But she is full of laughter. I mean, this girl's going to laugh. I don't care what. She had brain surgery about 20 years ago. Is it, Arlene? 20 years ago. She was a nut then, but she was a stupid nut. She's not like that no more. But I've been knowing her since Germany, 40 years. I've been knowing Arlene. I love her to pieces. She'll make you laugh even when you don't feel like it. Lots of fun, free-spirited. She used to be that way. She didn't like nobody. All in the church. She look over here, so. And Sister Rose, so. I thought, what is your problem? You know what? She was her own problem. She didn't like nobody. Say one word that she didn't like. You was on a bad list for 2 years, 3 years, whatever. God gave her a tumor right here in the forefront of her mind and shut her mouth up and changed her. And she come to me, Mama, they say I got this tumor in my brain and that if I don't have it moved, I could go blind. And Mama, I'm going to trust God. I said, God ain't getting ready to do nothing for you, Arlene, when you full of hell all the time. You think God's coming down, so that's why that tumor's in your head. He ain't getting ready to take it out. And she said, so she kept putting it off. That's why she called me on the phone one day and said, Mama, she said, I'm going to go on and get this thing taken out. I said, you better, because God ain't getting ready to do it. I went up there to the hospital when they took her into surgery, and I was trying to convince the doctor that I was a strong person. Could I please watch the surgery? He said, oh, no. Like, are you insane? No, really. I like stuff like that. So I said, I promise you I won't fall out or nothing. He said, I can't let you in. I said, but I'm a pastor. He said, I can't let you in. So finally, I was so pushy. He said, I tell you what. You can come in the operating room until she sleep. Well, I didn't know she was going to go to sleep that quick. So I thought, oh, okay, that's pretty good. So I went there. Arlene's on the operating table, and all this stuff in this room is phenomenal. And I stood back, and he said, who was the man that give you the anesthesiologist? He went over there, and he just said, count. She said, 1, 2. I thought, this is what you let me come in for? We don't need to go in there for that. Counted to 2 and was gone. He said, well, we'll see you, Pastor. You're not staying in this room. God, I would have given anything to see that. And maybe I'll meet a doctor one day who likes me enough to say, yeah, come on in. I don't know if I will. Well, I did it when my daughter had her baby because she had to have cesarean. And my son-in-law, God love him, they had to, he said, you're free to go in. That's what my son-in-law said. And I said to the doctor, I want to go in. My son-in-law, he's not good at this. So they let me go in. I had watched it on TV before. And they said, yeah, but the nurse says it's not like TV. I said, oh, well, I'm not going to bother me. And I mean, I was watching that. I was on my tiptoes and trying to see, wow. They cutting the belly open, and boy, I'm thinking, wow, after I hear this sound. And then this big head grandson of mine's head was coming up, and I thought, wow, if this is not exciting. I'm glad I didn't let my son-in-law go in, because when they got ready to circumcise him, he was getting ready to faint. So the nurse said, are you all right, Mr. Stewart? I talked about him bad. But let me say, if you want to be liked, that's why the word says, if you want a friend, show yourself friendly. Say, nobody don't want to be my friend. Well, how friendly are you? And so, anybody would be this girl's friend, I kid you not. Because she's going to laugh about no matter what. You're going to feel better just because she's crazy. But she's a good crazy. So look at your life and say, even your wife don't like you. Your husband don't like you. Your kids don't want to be around you. And you're talking about, I don't know why my kids, they just want to put me away and don't come see about me. How evil are you? Nobody wants to do that. So ask the Lord, look, while I'm preaching this morning, look inside yourself and say, is this me? Does this apply to me? Am I somewhere way out here? Is there something I'm doing the reason why my life is in turmoil? Yeah, for sure. Your life's in turmoil and you did it. And so you got to wake up, acknowledge what it is, and say, I'm going to ask God to help me. I'm going to ask him to fix me. Because I guarantee you, you'll never be successful at it yourself. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting. And his truth endureth. His truth endureth to all generations. From generation to generation, the truth never changes. When you're dead and gone and somebody else is coming on and other people come on, it'll still be the same that you're hearing today. It will never say. The scripture says you can do nothing against the truth, only for it. Because the truth is the most powerful force in the world. And so if you try to do something against it, it continues to withstand you. You ever been someplace and somebody, your mama told you shouldn't do that, that's not good. Your auntie, saw your auntie, she told you the same thing, and then you went on somewhere else, and everybody said, and you get here and somebody says, that doesn't make sense what you're talking about. You know, my mama said that. Has it finally sunk in that maybe I am crazy? 4 people done told me this. Should I not listen? Should I not take a moment to think about where I am and who I am? And don't live in what you call your truth. I guarantee you, we had a guy at home named Bugs Bunny. That was his nickname. Bugs Bunny, you haven't seen nothing that ugly on the planet. I don't know how far you'd have to travel to find that. He had drank so much whiskey until his teeth were eaten up. At the bottom, his teeth was maybe about that long because all the alcohol he had eaten just ate up his teeth. Bugs Bunny would grin at you like he got pearly whites everywhere. And I wouldn't even smile if I had that. And he walked around like every woman want him. I'm looking at him thinking, are you kidding yourself? Get a grip, sweetie. You couldn't upset Bugs Bunny about how he looked in his teeth or nothing. He was all of that and a bag of chips. This boy had it going on. But deep inside, you ain't telling me nothing. You look in the mirror, and when your teeth supposed to be so many, however so long, and you got a dot in there. You look in the mirror and say, and I look over here and see your teeth ain't that short. Why's my teeth way up here? Something's wrong with that. And you're not good looking. You know, I don't think people were really honest with themselves. Say, I'm not a good looking person, but I think I'm okay. Just be honest. You know, when I had my babies, I had some cute ones. I had some ugly ones. I gave birth to them. It's an ugly kid. My daughter that was up here leading the service this morning, I thought, what did God do here? my daddy was a very handsome man. I didn't think I looked too bad. And I thought, how did we get this? So I took her to church, and everybody's going, Sister Rose, can we see the baby? I said, she's asleep. Not happening. I had her covered under a blanket, covered her head and everything, and she was under there sweating. Ain't coming out. Bald-headed and ears sitting out like, I thought, no, you're not looking at this. Not yet. She turned out really good. But upon her birth, but I see people say, well, I think all my kids are beautiful. You're lying. You're lying. They're not all beautiful. I had a beautiful first baby. I had a beautiful baby that was a boy the third time. And then David was the most prettiest baby I ever had. Hair, black curly locks everywhere. Beautiful baby. I was so proud to show him off. But here come along the twins that look like little skint rats. 2.5 and 3 pounds. They're not fully, completely whole yet. And I went down to that premature place, to the nursery and seen them. I thought, what happened? All these machines and stuff to them, head maybe this big and just a little tiny, scrawny little thing. It turned out pretty good. Took a while. But I didn't lie to myself. These are not what you call beautiful babies. But they're my babies. Did you not love them or something? No, I just was truthful. Truthful. Try it sometime. You'll feel better. Walk around and tell them, honey, come here. My grandbaby, I told them when they were standing down in the hall, I said, when the baby is born, I will bring him to y'all to see him. When that kid came out, I was so ashamed. They wrapped him up in a blanket. And I thought, okay, go on, show him the baby. I go down there, I said, here he is. I said, he's ugly, but he's here. Yeah. Turned out to be the cutest thing. But you know what? You will be so tired by the time you die from just lying. You know how tired that makes you? Just lying about everything. Because if I say that, people are going to say, how could she call her own grandbaby ugly? Because he was. Just like yours probably was. I just don't agree with it. We don't need you to agree. It's how people act like, well, you got to agree with this. I don't have to agree. And you don't have to agree with me. You're not going to stop me from telling the truth. Deal with it. Don't put up these. You know what we wear? We wear a mask. A mask for this, a mask for that. You go home and look in your drawer, you got a mask for everything that you need to put on a mask for. Well, I'm going to see this rich lady. They don't care anyway. If you ain't got no money, they don't care. So I'm going over here to this place. I put this on. I'm trying to do this certain thing, look this certain way, and change mass, Sunday church mass. You ain't never seen people driving that slow on Sunday morning going down the street because it's Sunday morning. It's the Sabbath day. They'll run you over and kill you Monday. But on Sunday, yeah. Ask yourself, how much are we looking at the real thing this morning? Are you for real? Do you like who you are? Say, no, I need to change. God will so beautifully make a change in your life and put you in a good place. So I can be happy. Nothing is worse than pretending to be something that you are not. Nothing is worse than that because it makes you tired. I got to wear this the whole time. If you hope that after an hour I can get out because I don't want to keep acting like this. What kind of That's what makes hypocrites. That's what makes people in the church, they grin in your face and date your husband outside. They're not for real. Nobody should have to watch their husband or wife in the church, but you know what? That's a has-been thing. Now, all kind of stuff. A lady came to this church one day. You ain't gonna do it in here because I'll put you out for a cack and say me out. But a lady came to me and said, Sister Rose, what do I do? I'm in this church, and my husband's supposed to be a preacher, and he's going with a woman in the church. What do I do? I said, did you go to the pastor? Yeah, he told me to leave him alone. The pastor told you to leave your husband alone while he's dating the church and call himself a preacher? Huh. You need to get out of that church, first of all, because he's not a pastor. So undoubtedly he's telling your husband, leave your husband alone because he's doing the same thing. In this church, that won't work for you. That won't work for you. I watch people like a hawk. Don't take long for my eyes to travel this room. And if I miss you, some other member of the church got you. They all over your little people in the church that keep their eyes out. Sister Rose is so-and-so, so-and-so. But in most cases, if I'm sitting here, I'm going to see it. And you're not going to do it in here. Come to church to worship God. We didn't come. This is not an escort service. I'm going to church. Got a lot of good women down there. That's not the reason you're supposed to go to church. That's the reason you still a homemonger. That's the reason you still haven't changed. You still hold on to this stuff. I want to change. God, make me pure. Make me clean. You know what? We don't have many ladies left in the world. Did you know that? We got lots of women. We don't have many ladies. Because we have so much let down the standard. To men don't even respect women no more like they used to. And Steve Harvey said that one day. He said, you know what? He said, he wrote a book, Talk Like a Man or something, Act Like a Man, whatever it was. And he said, women don't understand that we will accept who you are, but you won't wait. So we tell you such a thing, and you just right away want to go and have sex with somebody. He said, that ain't what we're really looking for. But if you just wait a minute. Can you hear people saying now, oh, we were dating for a while before we had sex. How long was that? Well, it went on for at least a week and a half. Are you kidding me? That's a long time. Wow. That's amazing. There is no such thing as we're representing something. I want to be something to my daughter. My daughter understands what it means to be a lady and not just a woman. So I can change that. I don't care how much it pushes you. I don't care how you feel. You can change it. All that can change. You can become a flower that people look at and admire and say, this is beautiful. I get compliments on a constant about my integrity, everything. I never have respect to persons. I treat everybody the same. Yes. People can believe in you as a preacher if you're really real. But to say one thing and do another, that never works. And they've seen me take charge in this church. Somebody get out of line, black, white, red, or yellow, don't matter. You can't do it here. And I think it sent a big message when I got rid of my two sons that was in the church, one assistant pastor, the other one played the drums. See, when we give birth to something, we have no way of knowing what it's going to turn out to be. We don't know. We hope it's turning out to be something good, but we don't know. My sons knew what I stood for. I said, you'll never occupy a pulpit with me and run women in the church. Are you stupid? And it doesn't matter how old my kids get, they'll still get a beating. And they know it. They don't push me. I said, not in here. You got to get out of here. That was in 2000. 2000. Put them both out. Not in this church. That's not going to happen. In here, this is the house of God. We should respect it, and we should love each other. But this is not to play games in here. No. Yes. You can't be in a church because you're the pastor's kid and do wrong. Even more so should you set an example. Even more so. I am grateful that my life speaks for itself. My morals are one that people would covet. I remember when my husband died and the Lord said to me, you are a widow now. I'm never going to be married again. He's been dead 25 years. When you counsel people, have somebody present. Not just you and a sir. You and a bruh. No. You better have somebody present. You will not find me in this church counseling in my office and nobody's here, just me and him. Oh, no. Same way with my house. If I have you at the house, I don't have many people there I counsel, but I do sometimes. And there's going to be somebody there. I said, my kids, one of y'all got to be here this afternoon. I got to talk to so-and-so. You need to be here. This man came to my house. He was the landscape guy. He was doing the landscape in the yard. And he shared with me about his relationship that he had with God at one time. And I was just at home with nobody there. So I thought, well, he's just going to say his little say and he'll be gone. He kept talking. I said, tell you what, let us go out on the front porch and you can finish telling me then. I said, I can't have you in the house with nobody here. I'm not going to have anybody saying, honey, she calls herself a preacher, but somebody went over in there, honey, he spent some time. He wasn't gone in 5 or 10 minutes. It was some time spent up in there. You could get a lot accomplished in that time. No. Everything I do is about how it affects ministry. Everything I do is about the members that I minister to every week and week out, that none of them are going to be heartbroken because they get a bad report and Sister Rose been out doing something crazy. No. He said, are you bragging on yourself? Mm-hmm. I'm bragging because God did it. He did it. Yes. You got to understand, do I want to keep living my life on this road or do I want to turn the other way? Do I want to change things? Do I want to become a person that people speak well of? Will Perkins in this town that owns Perkins automotive thing, he said to me, I told him, I said, I put my son out. If he comes to you and asks for help, do not help my son. Let him learn. He said, okay, Rose. But he didn't listen to me. And so he came to me and said, well, Rose, he was telling me, he's all hard time. And I said, my son's not having a hard time. Anything he's going through, he did it to himself. I don't want nobody aiding him. Well, he did it. So later he got me in front of some other business person in town. He said, you know what? He said, I have never in my life, in all these years of being in the church, saw any pastor that would take a stand against their children. I've never seen it. He said, I'll never forget it because I've never seen it before. But then he had the nerve to call me later after my son paid him the money back. He said, Rose, this is Will. And I'm going to tell you that Charles paid me back. I said, well, I wish you'd pay me back. Then he says, Rose, I just want to talk to you. I want families to stay together. I said, Will Perkins, you know what? I said, you better get out of my business. I said, don't tell me about staying together. I know what I'm doing is right and God is pleased with it. I don't need you to try to fix it for me. Now, don't call this number no more. He said, okay, Rose, you feel like that? That's the way I feel. Don't call it no more. They staying out. 2000 to 2018, that's 18 years. And I feel like they said, well, do you forgive him? I do. I'm not bitter. I truly forgave both of my sons. The other one is doing great. Got saved, gave his life to the Lord. The little drama, because the older son is what pushed him far too much. But that boy, I'm proud of him today. I did the right thing. The reason why you parents can't get proud, because you so busy putting pillows in the bed where they put boulders, and that's why they don't get no better. Let them learn. Let them learn. I said, your kids is no more special than mine. My kids turned out great. Turned out great. I'm so proud of Lamont. He's the director of the Just Cause organization in this city. They have a radio station program twice a week. He's been on the Hills and interviewed congressmen and senators, and I'm proud of my son. He'll kiss me to death. I said, "Mom, you kissed me already. One more, Mama, just one more." All the time. This is not the boy 20 years ago. He changed because he wanted to change. I'm telling you, if you're going to stand up and be the person you need to be, you need God to strengthen you. Look at a thing when it's right, you hold on to it. If it's wrong, get rid of it. See, that's going to make the difference in your life. And if you want these people, I'm getting ready to preach a message coming up real soon about the modern day idols. And one of them is our kids. One of them is family. One is careers. It's a lot of things. Modern day idols that we worship. And when you make anything an idol, you can't disagree with it. You just got to keep going with it. Listen to what I'm telling you this morning. You don't have to say the same person. And don't think for a minute, well, I don't know if this church is any different. Give it a try. Give it a try. I promise you, you will say, I've never seen it on this fashion before. I love them. When they get wrong, I correct them. If they keep on doing wrong, I put them out. But they took the loud on me in the city. Sister Rose kicked people out the church all the time. If I did, I wouldn't have no members. That's not true. If you want to do right, we're going to do right. And I'm going to help you. But if you're going to do wrong and continue to do wrong and won't stop, Paul said, turn them out. And hopefully, from the sin that they encounter out there, they'll get their life together and come back. God wants the church to be kept clean. He wants us to have a clean life. He don't want us to project the wrong thing and call ourselves Christians. Look at yourself this morning. So did you think you was a Christian when you got here? You said, well, by the time you get through beating somebody to death, I don't know what I am. Don't get uptight with me. Either you got it or you don't. I love you to pieces. If you don't believe it, get in the prayer line. If I hug you, you ain't never felt the hand of God like that. There's no evil here, but it is truth. Let's deal with truth. Truth gonna set you free. You're gonna be a different person. You'll do your family different. You'll do different on your job. Everything will be different. This morning, you tuned in and heard what was said. Ask yourself, that's me. I'm the biggest liar and phony on the planet. Tell yourself that. If that's true, then go to God and say, take this away. And he loves us enough to do it. So will our musicians and singers please come forward? And while they are coming forward, if you're sitting there this morning saying, I know you're talking to me. People said, Sister Rose, you were talking directly to me. God was talking directly to you. Want to do things different? You can change in a moment. It don't take, these people telling you, well, God understands, honey, it takes time. God is a miracle worker. So why is it going to take him a long time to straighten you out when he spoke the world into existence? Think about it. I love you to death. Please give us a chance to pray with you this morning and say that God loves you and we do too. And know that you're in a good place. You're in a good place. Would you please stand? You know what? We will not hold against you what your yesterday was. God forgives you, we forgive you because we care. God holds nothing against us once we come to him and say, Lord, change my life. He forgives all the wrong. The scripture says he cast it into the sea of forgetfulness, never to remember it anymore. Sometimes people won't let you forget, but God will forgive you and forget it. God bless you.